Sharing will be set in just a second. There we go. Should be seeing.
Yep, it's back.
There's not much to this sound-wise except like the intro song and a couple of in-between tags. Let's... Oh, I should probably introduce the show. Hi, guys. Kentucky Fried Cock and all that. Anyway, I have people here. Who do I have? I have Wit.
Oh, hello.
We have Kuro. I think.
Just happens to be working the other side. So don't count on her.
Good enough.
You will occasionally hear me say things.
Okay, that's good enough. And Recluse is
You
here.
have a little Kuro as a treat. You're welcome.
And that's Recluse over there.
Indeed. Hello, one and all.
Alright, so similar to what I do for my Saturday night special show with Shadow and Coma, we're going to start taking turns playing games among me, Wit, and Recluse. And it seems like I get to go first with this new cycle. So I've decided on a little DOS game called...
Kid Faces.
Yes.
Oh, electronic art. Back when they weren't evil.
It's Eagle Eye Mysteries.
Ooh, Stormfront. That's a little.
Great, you're here.
I
I'm Jake Eagle, and this is my sister Jennifer. We're the Eagle Eye Detective Agency.
Oh, okay. We're counting on you to help us solve mysteries here in Ridgeview. Graphics are amazing for DOS. Holy smoke.
Before we get started, let's show you around a little. Ridgeview is a small town, but there sure is a lot going on. And the graphics are about to get better.
You'll see that once you start working with us. Let's roll, Jake. Worse. You'll okay, fine, you do it.
You're missing lines.
Yeah, then. Oh, are you not controlling the click-through?
Nope.
Oh, I thought you were just an asshole.
That's Pizza Palace. Excellent pizza.
And next to is the pawn shop where we found many of their stolen earrings. The Garcias were impressed and we caught the burglar who robbed their house. Call the police!
Yeah, I can't control.
What? We followed his trail to the church where he hid the loot? What the fuck? Chief Barnes said we saved the Garcia family's heirloom. Chief Barnes, is this Sergeant Jake Barnes? Has he been promoted? This is our hometown. Bitch! Really leave
I want to know who gave these kids drones back
If I-
in 1990.
And there's our treehouse, the Eagle Eye Detective Agency headquarters. Where you'll be our newest investigator.
Ready? Here we go. I'm not. Call the cops.
This game already says something very important about capitalism. Is that
Are we being paid? Do these children have, like, a budget? Are they... Yeah, actually, why capitalism?
so look at their house compared to all the neighboring houses. Their house is way better, has a way larger lot, and people who can afford to pay for private investigators get their crimes solved, and the police just have to thank them. Because the police aren't effective here. Public services aren't given enough
I don't think
consideration.
these kids were hired. I think they're, like, kind of nosy and bored. Do you think they're freelance? No, not even.
Find out.
Yeah, if I'd hit enter
kids.
during... Incidentally, if I had hit enter during the intro sequence, it would have skipped the entire thing, so... And second of all, while you guys debate this, I think I'd better go to the bathroom real quick before I laugh myself wet over all this discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that TMI about your bladder control.
Yeah, and thank you for leaving us on the least interesting possible screen. Nothing to say about what we are seeing. I wish I was never born.
I mean, you can guess the age of this by looking at the floppy drive.
Well, it also was copyright 1993, so that's not that hard.
No,
Okay.
you must guess the age. Guess!
You're the worst detective I've ever met, Silver.
Ah, but you have met me.
Okay, that was pretty good. What?
No, messed up one of the labels I printed
Oh no. Where did you print them?
at work. I mean, I just messed up the spacing, I guess.
Is it like, will the post office not send it?
I don't know. That's readable.
All right, so do we have all of
I'm
our
sorry.
preconceived...
What the fuck? Their address is number, hey, 1416 street name. What the hell is the hey?
I don't know. These are just what I got off of the fucking store envy when they ordered their stuff.
So you think that's something?
It's literally copy and pasted.
Can you reach out to them and say...
Hey is a part of an address?
Babe, I don't know.
I'm googling this. This is pretty. I can't.
I might email them.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put this one aside.
I'm not.
Does
gonna
this
email
matter,
them.
Alpha? The Jake Jennifer choice. Are the playthroughs different?
No.
Should
Also...
we do that sticker again?
I would say let's do Jake because we can double duty as Jake, and we are taking some of the onus for speech
Oh, it's a typo.
from
It's supposed to be
From Jackie.
highway.
Fucking Word automatically fixed that.
Yeah, I bet it did.
Whore!
Yes, let us call Microsoft products whore.
Do we have our
I support
preconceived...
this.
Whatever I want to call Microsoft products.
Do we have all of our preconceived opinions about this detective agency?
Yes,
Okay, good.
it is a biting critique of capitalism.
I disagree, but I understand if you're choosing to interpret it that way, where you got that interpretation.
Let's find out. Let's do the practice mystery just to see what all this is about.
Oh no. If you like. What? No, hang on. What's the statue?
No, it's a tree.
Oh, it's a tree.
Yeah, that's part of the tree. Huh?
Okay, so it definitely has a face?
It's a load-bearing boss. When you defeat the tree in the final level, the treehouse will collapse, and you'll have to escape.
So the limb of the tree, second from the right, parses very much as a head to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought they had like an enormous granite statue, just like as a I don't know, a souvenir of a previous mystery that we did not see them solve.
Sure would lend itself to Silver's capitalism theory.
I
I
might
mean, the
be,
foosball table does that. Nobody just has a foosball table unless they have disposable income.
In a
Yes.
fucking treehouse, by the way.
No one has a treehouse unless they have disposable income.
all of this is true. I don't think they get paid for this.
There's a computer in their treehouse. Do you have any idea how much wiring that requires?
That is absolutely wild. I still don't think the kids get paid for this.
And a phone. They have their own line. And
What's
a
in the
TV.
tank?
They have their own cable.
That says reptile to me more than fish.
Is it a turtle?
Does look pretty turtle.
Tell me about the
Get a
turtle.
herpetologist in here.
Well, if we can we'll get to the turtle, hopefully. My point is, I don't think anyone asks them to do this. I think they just do it by themselves.
Well, I guess we'll find out if
I
they're
still
asked
think-
or not.
I still think the police are incompetent, and that Captain Jake Barnes needs to be fired. But I don't think anybody's like, you know what we need is kids, and you know what we need is rich people will get their stuff done and poor people won't. I think they're just like asshole kids who happen
Well,
to
let's
be good at this. Maybe. Okay, yes. We may click the mouse button. Oh, do you still want me to read shit?
If
I
you,
don't know if I'm prepared
He
to.
absolutely does. But don't worry, we selected the male character to be our lead so that we would have less voice time for you
Yeah, I'm not prepared for us to commit to this is always going to be voice acted.
You want me to
Yes.
skip this then?
Not necessarily.
Well, oh,
Read
didn't-
instructions. We'll tell you how to use the computer to get around.
glad to meet you. I'm Jake Eagle. Richview is only a small town, but there are plenty of mysteries to solve. We can sure use your help.
That's
you
right.
can-
Sometimes to see clues that we might miss if we didn't have you around. With your help, we could make Eagle Eye the best detective agency in the whole state. God, I hope not. I hope not.
Wait, if they're actually an incorporated agency, then this also has implications because they're a corporation.
Then I'm back with you on this is a biting indictment of capitalism. If these are just like annoying kids, I don't think it has anything to do with class structure. But if they are genuinely a business and like drumming up their own, like getting hired for this, oh boy, oh boy.
This is our headquarters, where we start all our investigations. We call this treehouse the Eagle's Nest.
You two had better get going. Nancy Marks, who helps us here at Eagle Eye, just called in with a problem. It will make a perfect case for you. The conjunction of letters we use to represent all of us.
Great idea, Jennifer.
See, they are getting hired.
This is awful.
Come on, collaboration. Let's go meet Nancy. She's over at the Quarter Time Arcade right now.
When you see the map on your screen, look for the flashing red diamond that marks a spot in each mystery that we'll want to visit. When you click your mouse on the town map, you'll see a close-up of that part of the town. The sites that we can visit in each mystery are marked with name boxes.
The site that we want to visit first will always be marked by a red box. Right now, that'll be Quarter Time up by the mall. And this is repeat. We'll skip that.
Yeah, they are using a lot of words to say not very much.
Yep.
Red diamond on the big map, then the button marked Quarter Time. There's a red diamond up there. There's only one place.
Oh, this is a killer soundtrack.
So, Silver, when we mentioned this game, you said that there was a chance that this was something that you had been familiar with.
Indeed, this is not it. But I'm interested in it nonetheless.
There's Nancy over there. Let's see what's up. Use the mouse to point and click, and go.
Hi, Alpha with Silver. Hi, Jake. I think somebody is playing a trick on us. Check out this note I found in my locker.
This is exactly what I didn't want to happen.
I think we can. All right, we can forego the voice acting for this one. I think this is gonna go a little.
Or we have to start playing games that have voice acting.
Yeah, this is gonna go a little too far down the drain. Let's just move on here. Let's see. Bet you can't guess who I am. Recluse, Quarter Time, Kennedy School, Richview Community Bank. Dare you to figure it out. The mystery guy.
That is mysterious.
Indeed.
There was a piece of. They wrote the word clue on it?
It's gonna be like
That sounds like a clue, all right.
Okay, that's just for the practice mystery, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope so. Otherwise, this would be a very boring game.
Oh my god, it's a Polaroid camera!
Is that?
That is what that is.
Oh yeah, they did have that one weird looking model. Doesn't know anything? Get him out of here.
Oh, it's a computer. He basically has a smartphone, just 30 years too early.
Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So points of interest, etc., etc.
Mark Moriarty!
Well, if that's not an obvious reference.
Either they don't know or don't want to help. How can we tell?
Oh, so this guy's a problem child. Cool.
Classism. Well, that's it. We've got nothing.
Cool.
Can we use note on people?
I don't see anything for inventory here.
Alright, well then let's head to the bank.
Yeah, I guess.
This right here is probably it. Yep, there we go.
That's about how fast I moved when I first tried skateboarding.
Clue at bank. Okay.
Look at my feet if you want to go somewhere. That's a thing?
Yep.
Oh, no. Oh, like to go back to the map screen.
Wall of the bank. The word
Y'all should have cameras. What is this?
There is
There's
one
a
up
camera,
there. it
literally
looks like.
right there.
Right over there where we list the values of foreign money.
Exchange rates.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, we are explicitly talking about the value of money now.
Oh. Well, that may answer something.
It's true. Well, it could be a red herring. We should go at least try and find the other clue. The bank manager should have footage of someone putting it there. And if they're worried about it, they could consult their own security or the police.
Camera's not selectable, though.
Not going. This is a bad game.
So we're tasked by someone with the last name of Marks to go find out some information from a wealthy banker.
That's true. I did notice her last. I wonder if the programmers. What? Are you fucking kidding me?
Neither fucking
There
you
wasn't
nor
even
kidding
power
you.
fluctuation. The computer's still on.
What happened?
What?
We can hear you.
Oh,
I'm assuming.
okay.
Went to sleep.
I need a screensaver.
That is 100% a alterable setting in Windows system settings. Maybe power
My
settings.
monitor will display the same message as a power fluctuation caused your computer to shut down as you haven't moved your mouse in a minute, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I think we've seen enough here.
What was the clue at the school?
A chalk mark. That.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
Just a marking?
So
That's a dumb clue.
That one's bad. This is
So-
a bad game.
we need 5 clues
Do
to
we
tell
do?
us. That's what it's saying. Okay, so the marked man.
Mark. Oh, hey, Mark. How's your sex life?
The chalk mark.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa!
The German mark.
Oh, hi, doggy.
You're my favorite customer.
Mark was there.
Mark.
What else ties it? Probably
German
just
money.
the initial
German
note.
money. Oh, okay. Spotlight the person who you think challenged us to solve this mystery.
It's totally fucking Alex, right?
Yeah,
or-
it's totally Alex.
Or Jennifer. Jennifer might have
that
done it.
rat bastard.
No, it's fucking Mark Moriarty.
How and why? The Deutschmark.
Two screensavers I really miss.
Okay, so
What do they all have in common, guys?
mark. So here's the thing that I have to get at. The capitalism thing, that was just me fucking with you guys. I don't actually think this is a biting critique of capitalism. I just think that you can turn anything into a biting critique of capitalism without trying too hard. But one thing that the current political climate has made me literally unsure if I'm being paranoid or not is I keep on accidentally seeing. I think it's accidentally. I don't think that this is on purpose, but I can't tell because our modern political climate has broken me. There is so much here that could be Nazi dog whistling. Stormfront, the lightning bolt as Stormfront's symbol, the reference to eagles and the eagle's nest, the Deutschmark, like it's just a whole bunch of things that like independently it would be like, yeah, that's fine. That's all normal stuff. But like you start to tie them together and it's like, hmm. Oh wow, this is a lot of fucking mysteries.
I can see why you are picking up on all of those. Because you're right, there's a bunch. I think
Telephone.
Bring.
one of the things that might excuse them is by, like, for having this mystery, the first one be very simple. You needed a name that is also an object and also had a lot of other meanings.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. I 100% think this is all just coincidence, and that it's not actually a game made by Nazis who were trying to see how much Nazi stuff they could throw in.
Besides, we didn't have Nazis in the 90s.
Sure we did. They just knew how to keep quiet back then. Because nobody liked them.
Nazis in the 90s were robbing armored cars and using the proceeds to buy computers to spread their message of hate on the internet. And so the modern day Nazis can trace their lineage back directly to armored car robberies and the robberies of like pornography shops and the murder of Jewish radio hosts. So,
I
fun
missed that
fact.
one.
Yeah. I'm
But-
sorry, what are we doing here? We were hired for a job, and I don't even remotely remember what it is. Does that guy have zinc on his nose? Or is he just like, has he been shot in the face and there's just like exposed bone showing on his face? Or did like we walk in right at the wrong time, like just after things popped off and
Yeah, please click
showed
on
someone a real good
Ostensibly
time?
the cashier. It's zinc.
Well, we don't know it's zinc.
It could be a bandage.
It could be bandage.
Who wants to
Could
make
be
the first?
genetic material.
Who wants to make
Get
the
get out
first
the black light.
crack joke?
If he's snorting crack like that, he really does have a drug problem.
He's banging 7-gram rocks.
So, would
What?
anybody like some background on why we're even here?
Yeah, we missed all of that.
Yeah.
I know that William Barr, the head of the Department of Justice, has sent us here, but I don't remember why.
The boy Willie Barr is in a skateboarding competition tomorrow, and his board has been stolen. Right from
Oh man!
right
Do you think
from this
Trump did
shop.
Have we thought about calling the police?
it?
Probably not.
Okay, this does make me sound like a huge, like, police apologist and that I'm in favor of the police.
Remember, kids, all cops are bastards.
All cops are best. And I do agree with that. I am speaking from a place of incredible privilege.
Orange wheels.
But I
Yeah. The police are a place where white women get more privilege than white men. It's one of the few places. But go on. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I don't know.
That
I
is
just
my privilege
feel
as a
like-
white man. I get to interrupt you.
Yeah, right. The police, in an ideal world, would be handling it. But the absolute wrongest people to handle these problems are children.
Oh, yeah.
That's the wrongest of the possible answers, I feel.
Yeah. Jennifer Eagle is definitely going to be murdered by a suspect she tracks down who has, like, a gun. And then Jake Eagle is going to go off the fucking deep end. He's going to get his father's guns from his gun locker, and he's gonna make them pay. It's not gonna be good.
Yeah.
They didn't know this in the 90s, but we know better now. Jake is going to grow up to shoot up his school.
They're gonna get shot by cops because they are trying to do these criminal investigations. And cops are trigger happy with terrible training. And a culture that encourages them to use force before any other option.
And to
I don't
cover,
think so, and here's why.
and to cover
We
each
haven't
other
seen-
even when they're lying and they know it.
We haven't seen a single black person yet in this town. So I think this is the kind of town where the cops are all good old boys and they're going to treat everyone well. Just give us your marijuana, we'll take it back to the precinct, and we're going to smoke it ourselves, and we'll just give you a warning. We'll break your bong, but take your weed. That's the kind of police I'm seeing in this town. That's why no crimes are getting solved. These cops are fucking baked.
God, I hate how right you are.
Yeah, it holds up.
By the way, there's potential motive here.
What?
Dave Grant will win the
Dave
trophy
Grant.
now, no doubt. That's motive to steal the skateboard of somebody who just might beat you for it.
What
You know what's
what
gonna
wrong
crack-
with his moves? Did they break his legs?
No, they stole his board.
Why can't he
Um,
borrow another board and do moves? I don't understand what the no moves thing means.
Again, there's a skateboarding competition tomorrow. And his board's been stolen.
Yes. This implies that even if he had a board, he still couldn't do it because he has no, quote, moves, unquote. What does that mean?
well, you see,
I think you're reading that a little differently. I'm looking at this as if I don't have my board, I can't make any moves.
it's all a metaphor for health insurance. If he had insurance on his board,
I
then
see.
he could get
Not
his board
only-
replaced.
it's-
But because a board is too expensive for him to replace
I'm gonna
in a
move
day, with the little amount of savings that most Americans have, he's not in a position to perform
Motive,
because he
motive,
doesn't have
motive.
insurance on his board.
And that's why this game developer is not. Thank you for coming to my talk.
Well, that might also be motive right there.
I understand that it was not suggested as a list of his problems. It was an if. It's all in the intonation, and we have none because this game is not voice acted.
Anyway, I would be willing to bet a fair amount that the fact that the wheels are orange is going to be very important.
I will not take that bet because they would not signpost it like that if it wasn't.
Sweet treats. Might be worth making a visit.
How much pocket money do we have?
Probably a ton the way that treehouse is loaded.
Great point.
The Richview Windsurfing Exhibition.
Wow, I'm like getting actually like worked up about this. Like all of this social injustice we're reading into this game, like it's actually making me like unhappy.
Oh, I am sorry. Do you want me to tone it down? Because I am 100% affecting this for a laugh.
Yeah, no, and Under a lot of different circumstances, I think I would too. I guess I'm in a weird mood today.
Considering the state of the world,
No, but no, we're not talking about that.
I'm not surprised it's affecting you. All I wanted to say.
Following that napkin we found. Hey, what's up, Mayo?
Boom!
Our only friend.
35 cents. Who charges 35 cents?
What year is this?
1993. Next question.
What are you buying for 35 cents?
Actually, yeah,
A
what are we
milkshake.
buying?
He looks like he just dropped a juicy piece of gossip about somebody's scandalous sex life.
This is a gay man.
A boy with a gin
I
bag
didn't
trying
want to
get
say
in
it, but he
backward.
absolutely looks like a gay man who's just telling someone that someone's boyfriend cheated on them. And that's 100% the face he's making.
It's the mustache, that's all.
What did gay people do before we invented the technique of just knowing who gay people were by sight alone?
Hello.
How did they,
Oh,
find
they
each
always
other?
knew.
How did they continue their species and breed?
Dave got a pistachio.
We knew.
Can of
Yeah,
orange
we
soda.
I hate to break it to you, buddy, but we knew.
It's you straight people that have wisened up.
Oh.
Oh, why does this matter?
Ah.
One of the napkin had a stain on it.
Oh.
Doing okay, Mayo. How about you? Actually, it's pretty
Yeah,
obvious.
Mayo, how about you?
Actually, I'm
Any
gonna give
dry
it.
cough there, Mayo?
I'm gonna give everybody
Maze?
the benefit of the doubt that we're all keeping up with what's going on here, and therefore understand why the green ice cream means something.
Uh,
And that's precisely why.
okay. You are forcing me to pay attention to this game. You got me.
Well, I mean, you can always take guesses, but
Was the stain green? Yes.
yes,
So we just have to find out which kid had which flavor of ice cream.
we already know that.
Well,
Dave Grant. We also
Dude.
know that there was a can of orange soda, an empty can at least, lying by the back door of Shred's shop, and orange soda was part of Dave Grant's order.
So we just need one or two more clues in the computer.
Yep.
Oh,
That looks like a POC, as the
Oh,
kids are
really?
saying. Also, there's some sort of eldritch terror in the bottom right hand of the screen.
By the way, what were we saying about people we weren't seeing in this town?
I think this character is coded as black, but I gotta say the skin tone is ambiguous. It's very pink.
He legitimately could be Italian. Mike Walker is much more of a black name, but it could be. He could be like half Italian. What is Walker? Is that British?
Yeah, probably.
Well, it seems like this boy is doing it the honest way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you should call him boy.
He is actually a young man. Like, he's a boy.
Young man. Sorry,
He's-
I was gonna start singing about systemic racism in the language.
No,
but
see, it's perfectly fine.
going to not.
It's perfectly fine to call him a boy. It's not a good thing to call him a boy.
I think it's
That's
okay to
what we're
call him
going-
a
that's what
boy.
we're
I don't
going
think
for
it's
here.
okay to call him boy, unless you are in fact Kratos.
Anyway,
which-
say hi to the other group of people we're talking about tonight.
All cops are bastards.
I think that police make us freer. It's just that we've lost. Like, if you have like bone cancer, you don't say like, you know what, bones suck. We should get rid of bones. You say like,
I don't
we
know.
need
Have
to
you
put
ever
in.
spoken to someone who had bone cancer? I feel like that would be my exact reaction.
Yeah, you are often irrational, and I love you, but you're often irrational.
Hot bones. I want. Turn me into a cuttlefish.
Cuttlefish are delicious.
And-
The best food I ever ate was cuttlefish. I'm sorry.
And Silver, I want you to examine the first sentence that you said. I think police make us freer. Who's us?
Everyone.
Yeah, white boy.
I think that is a problem, that we have a cancer growing in our police, and that is the fact that we have given privilege and power to someone without responsibility or oversight. People have become a different class of citizen without a different set of duty. And that, I believe, is a problem. And even with that, I do think that the police do make us safer than not. I just think that it is wrong-headed to defend the police in turn against increased supervision and accountability. Like body cameras, any good police officer should be fucking thrilled to have a body camera, because when you're in a position of power, more cameras means more defense against accusations of impropriety and abuse of power. And every person in power should be happy with having more cameras pointed at them.
It's true.
It's just the fact that we've reached a state where good cops defend bad cops and then become bad in helping perpetrate and perpetuate violence against the disenfranchised, minorities, sex workers, the homeless, the mentally ill.
Alpha, you should just play this game, and we'll get back in when something is important.
Yeah, I was thinking about continuing, but then I had a question to ask. Not that we're off topic in any way, shape, or form or anything, because that never happens on this show.
Not that we have a topic, but okay.
But is it still...
Are you paying attention? The topic is the ills of capitalism as discussed through the lens of child labor and investigative agencies.
Is it
Possibly not,
still...
but we're not sure.
Is it still profiling if you've got evidence against the guy who's acting like a jackass? Is it still profiling if you have proof that he's guilty?
No, then you
Okay.
have proof.
Just checking.
So I'll give you a real-life example of profiling that is accepted in the U.S. courts.
Wait, stop. I think he's trying to make a joke about this scummy kid we're looking at.
While he's busy with his arcade game, we're going to search his gym bag.
Unlawful search and seizure.
Yeah, well, something long and heavy has been stuffed into it. And there was a
Let's
kid...
not make sex jokes about the kids.
Yeah, no, we're not going to do that.
There was a kid with a gym bag heading towards the back door of Shred's place after he'd gone for lunch. I am very inclined to believe that what is in that gym bag is our stolen board.
Is it a
Well, then you gotta go to a judge and you gotta get a warrant.
Does it?
Or we can
No,
just...
that.
Or we can just click solve, find our 5 clues, and let that be that.
Yeah, do you think we have enough?
I think
Now,
so.
we could solve this correctly, or we could pin it on the black boy,
I'm
Jesus.
not going to do that. I have no
No,
proof
no.
against him.
get a successful prosecution, and mark it down as a statistic as a crime solved.
I have proof, and the proof does not point to him. Anyway,
Besides,
I'm
there's
just
a lot of
saying,
mysteries in
this-
this game.
this
We have to
right
see-
here,
If they pin something on him.
this right here is the motive.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to win.
This right here plus this right here equals this right here. The boy made this order. He left his napkin lying around. He left his can lying around. And in that back room, there are recycle cans for plastic, paper, and aluminum. This boy's a litter bug on top of all else.
$500 fine.
And Dave Grant's gym bag has something long stuffed in it. Something
Well, we
that
also
sounds
wanted-
like it fits the dimensions of a skateboard.
There was also one that was like a person was leaving with a gym bag, and I think that one should be selected, but it's clearly not able to.
In any event, it points to this snide-looking jackass.
Profiling would be if we saw this kid first and said, this kid did it because he looks like a jackass. And he does look like a jackass. But if we said he did it because he looks like a jackass and because of no other fact, that is the immoral kind of profiling.
So, do you want to get super duper angry? Because
Wow, I sure don't.
well, I might anyway, unless you really want me to stop the conversation. Because it's actually, when I was working with sex offenders, it was actually part of my job to profile people. Like, literally, it was my job to profile people. In terms of, like, the way that insurance companies profile people to determine their insurance rates. That was what we were doing, but with, like, prison times and,
Bummer.
Yeah, but
the apportioning of treatment.
yeah, but there's
well,
a huge.
To me, that says more about like the prison system than it does about like that. It almost suggests more that prison will create sex offenders more than anything else.
Well, I mean, you're right that a for-profit prison system will find its own inmates, but the lack of therapeutic resources means that you have to ration them, and you have to decide who gets compassionate treatment and who gets just locked away for a decade with no compassionate treatment. But what's really going to steam your hams is that part of what I had to do in my job was I had to make risk assessments on people, and if you were a gay male, you were profiled automatically as being more dangerous, because that is what the actuarial assessment said. So no matter what your circumstances were, if you were a gay man, you were elevated one step more dangerous than the same exact person, but straight.
That is a real bummer.
Why? Why?
I have theories. Again, it's an actuarial assessment, so
Homophobia,
it's
that's the theory.
just harvesting from data and then making like a game theory guess of like what are effective predictors, and being gay was apparently an effective predictor. And
Oh, bullshit on that right now.
That's the thing is, I do kind of trust actuarial science. I hate
Right.
it.
Not.
okay, but here's the thing: racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, all of these things can lead to racist actuarial data. So a good example of this is Toyota. Toyota was sued like a decade ago for denying loans to black people. And they argued that they weren't on purpose denying loans to black people. They were not taking race into consideration. It's just that the way the credit scores were set up, the credit scores were telling them not to lend to black people because black people tend to be victims of racism, and given shittier opportunities, they tend to have more severe outcomes in all walks of life, and it tends to make them worse to lend to. And so they have all of these risk factors that Toyota is not assigning to them. Toyota is
Okay,
just getting
that's a
this person.
financial one. What's your excuse for the gay men being a danger in
So
a prison
my-
system?
My point is that Toyota is taking actuarial data and making a correct assessment that is not their fault. It is not the person's fault who's being discriminated against, and it's not Toyota's fault, because that person shouldn't be getting a loan because of the situation they're in, but that person shouldn't be in the situation they're in. But they are because of racism, and not Toyota's racism, just from birth to education to someone has destroyed the camera that was there before. From birth to death, Black people just have extra hardships against them that need to be dealt with that make them more at risk to defaulting on a loan. So,
Okay, but you're not answering my question about what makes the gay people more dangerous. What's
So,
the actual data on that?
there's two theories, one of which is oh shit, this is escalating.
Yeah, I don't like the bullet.
We're literally sending children after gunmen now.
Folks, this is what
maybe
it takes to get.
actually a bad game. I was kidding before, but like this is rough.
Folks, this is what it takes to get their attention on a normal day.
Um,
I
was
mean,
just
I know
reviewing the bad
homosexuals used to be
sex
arrested
plural.
for way more often.
Yeah, it was an excuse to get them off the street.
Well, that would show up as like criminal behavior overall.
So two reasons. One is, my theory is that gay people, at the time that the actuarial assessment was made, which was 1999, gay people didn't have nearly as much acceptance in the wider community, and they didn't have nearly as much of a script for being authentically who they are, which is to say, gay, and in gay relationships, and also be accepted by society, which is the point of, you know, effective treatment, is that you are who you are, but you are comporting with society's expectations so that society deals with you well and you deal with society well, and that just wasn't possible in 1999 for gay men. Is that being gay was a crime, let alone being, you know, dallying with someone or who's underage or using force or anything else. So you are more likely to offend because your love is de facto illegal already in many places. So that's my theory. The accepted theory in the field, and I think this is partially true, is that with pedophilia, you can take an adult woman who is fairly short and flat-chested and up on her waxing routine, and she can present in a way that is accessible to the predilections of a heterosexual male pedophile. But the secondary sex changes between a prepubescent boy and a pubescent boy or young man are much more pronounced. So you can only get so twink, I guess.
Gross,
what I'm saying.
but understandable.
And I think there is something to that, but I think that I am willing to bet that I'm willing to bet that my theory is true, and that actuarial risk factor is going to lose its predictive value as we continue to assimilate gay people into society nicely.
Yeah, it definitely does feel like an oversimplification.
All right, if I may interrupt this riveting conversation just for a moment.
You
Who-
insist?
Who did it?
It's not Shorty because he's too short.
I've
That's all I
never
was
seen
paying
any of
attention
these
for.
people before in my life.
Which of them have brown eyes?
Shorty.
Sing to me about our brown-eyed girl. Is he the only one?
Lefty had brown eyes as well.
And Froggy and Red did not?
Wait, no, sorry. Froggy had brown eyes. Lefty had blue eyes. Red had brown eyes.
So it could be Froggy or Red.
So far.
So I'm gonna need someone else to come up with a piece of information.
The short man was carrying a stool between the jewelry store and the bank.
Oh, I'm sorry. I may have misunderstood what crime we were investigating. I thought that we were investigating a armed robbery.
We are.
Mm-hmm. 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 So what does the stool have to do with anything?
How do you give the illusion that you're tall if you're short? And there's a
So
teller
he-
window to disguise the lower half of your body.
So you're saying that he brought in a stool, stood on the stool, robbed the bank, hopped off the stool, and no one noticed that he hopped off a stool?
Yep.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, Alpha. But
Too
I'm
bad,
assuming
yeah.
that you've
I'm going
I'm
to
assuming
click.
that you've already gone ahead and found what the answers are, and you already know.
No, I have
No.
not done that. But I do know that I'm going to click Shorty and I'm going to be right. Unless anybody would like to object and make another guess.
I wasn't paying attention. I was talking about systemic racism in our justice system.
You were talking about systemic homophobia in our justice system, but I appreciate
That's true.
Shorty did it. Case closed.
That was just like a weird choice on his part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, if you're trying to disguise your height.
And the only thing you guys caught were the things to do with bullets.
There is a very real problem that if you are an eyewitness to a crime, you likely paid attention to the gun. An armed robbery. You likely paid attention to the gun, and possibly when the person turned and ran, the back of their head. So the trick to getting away with an armed robbery in broad daylight, if there are no cameras, is to have a large enough gun to attract attention, and then to wear a hat.
He did wear a hat, but it didn't go down far enough to conceal his hair color.
Gotta get a better hat.
Oh, that was explicitly stated. Okay. It
Yep.
makes sense then. It makes sense then that we knew that somebody saw, because yes. We didn't see through the trick. We were explicitly told, motherfucker.
Yeah, I was told by Alpha.
I like to think that like this guy was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and the police picked him up for an entirely separate reason. No, there was actually a different short person with a stool. Oh my god, the police are 100% high, because they had ruled him out because they hadn't talked to the person who said, no, it was a short person on a stool, you dumb fucks.
How about this last sentence right here?
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
Who likes capitalism propaganda?
This is not what detectives do. They don't solve crime. Okay, I'm gonna pay attention this time, I swear.
I hope so, because
And I'm going to do my best to distract you.
Well, okay, for one thing, I'm gonna have this window open on my screen.
Now, this mystery is all about
Intruder!
the Jewish question.
Oh, was that the turtle?
Runaway reptiles. It's the reptile people who run the world economy.
Well, then I should hope that you're paying attention this time, because there was interest about that reptile.
This is Minisky found him all the way over at the library.
Wow.
How could he have gotten there? Oh, it's a lizard. Okay. Either escaped or kidnapped. The library.
Collapsible shotgun and giant animal mask to rob someone.
It was an iguana? Those are huge. Well, let's talk to the witness.
And now it's being blamed on us.
It's a smear campaign.
Yeah. This is Minisky.
Hmm.
And her, Mrs. Garcia.
Oh.
Mike.
Fucking Mark.
Anybody ever watch a pup named Scooby-Doo?
Yes?
This is smelling like a potential red herring kind of scenario, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sit here and start blaming Mark Moriarty just because it's Mark Moriarty, and it's not going to be Mark Moriarty. Just watch.
Probably not.
Well, there's only
So
one
I
way to
guess
find
that
out. Let's get some
Guy in the
evidence.
background is Eric then?
What was
the
that?
Aryan Ubermensch.
Indeed. Stormfront Games.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Loose bit of yarn.
Now, why would the game tell us something like this?
Because he's guilty. And we can only pin it on him if we have details about him.
I have a theory, but I'm not going to present it just yet.
A large box, huh? Can we interrogate that?
A large box. Actually, you know what? Would anybody like me to present my theory?
It sounds like you want us to want you to present your theory, so go for it.
You think that it's gonna seem to be Moriarty, but if we keep on investigating and digging, that it'll turn out that we'll find some blue string on the treehouse, and oh no, it was the Aryan all along. But then, surprise twist ending, the blue string was planted there by Moriarty since he's a criminal mastermind, and secretly a Jew, and he's pulling a fast one on a pure-blooded patriotic Aryan.
You had what I was thinking prior to Mark
The
planting
racism?
prior to Mark planting the string. You lined up with what I was thinking.
Oh, just the simple fact that it's Eric and not Mark?
Mm-hmm.
Was this book open?
Eric could have climbed the tree. No, I don't think so. I pointed to the bookshelves.
So we just found one.
I think this
and
is
are
just
learning things that we really ought to have known if we own an iguana.
I mean, not every kid owned an iguana back then.
Yeah, but Jake does.
Now they do. Now every kid owns an iguana. You get them from the government. Here's your government-issued iguana. It's part of the selective service. I hear they're even going to start giving them to women now.
Everyone
Supreme
gets
Court.
1,000 iguanas.
Here it's 2,000 iguanas.
2,000 iguanas?
99 iguanas.
We owe this woman an apology.
Oh boy.
She's surrounded by the longest cat of all time.
Is that a cat? It could be white flowers.
It definitely looks like the tail is on her left. Our
No,
left.
I've seen it
or
too.
right. I think it's two cats, actually.
I don't think it's cats. I think it's like flowers. The thing on the left could be a watering can.
Oh! Maybe you're right. Aha!
Oh, now we have motive, children.
Oh, of why he would be. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it sounds to me, woman, like joke was on you.
We live in a society. Bottom text.
A society where I'm
Can we
willing
go to
to.
our treehouse and see if we can see anything in the entryway? If we're looking for blue yarn.
The Eagle's Nest. This treehouse was Hitler's summer palace.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah.
way Jake skates up the ladder.
Hold up the window.
Look at it
Aquarium?
just look at it just flooped on the desk.
Oh my god.
Hello.
Ah.
They didn't even red herring us. They were just like, "Hey, Victor did it, or Eric did it, Mr. Victor did it."
The only reason we recognize Mark name is we played the practice mystery.
Do we have reason to believe that Eric's a good tree climber? We've got everything else.
Do we have 5 clues now? Do we
Well,
need...
he's an Aryan Ubermensch.
I haven't
Of course,
counted.
he's a good tree climber. I need to stop pretending to be racist. It's not good for my health.
It's a shame you weren't there for Obra Dinn then.
Oh boy.
No, you guys were able to handle the racism just fine yourselves.
It's not one of my prouder moments.
To be fair, I think it was more me than it was Wit, but
It was, but I couldn't stop it.
Oh, stop any. No.
Man, we made that guy so mad.
Which guy?
We had another rando, and he's like, "Stop guessing shit. The game will give it to you later."
I didn't really care for his tone of voice throughout that. If
You
it
were
was
reading entirely into that because he didn't have tone of voice, it was typed. You're the one who made it tense.
Yeah, well, if it was my channel, I would have banned him.
That's
then-
insane.
I know. But anyway,
He did nothing wrong. Alright, I think that's probably 5.
I should hope so, because there's nowhere else that we haven't gone. And I have to go somewhere in order to get to the computer, don't I?
I guess so.
What the hell? Back to the nest. So,
Right, wouldn't have left. Because it was cold.
yes, yes.
Blue yarn on the window.
Yep, that's a bigger clue.
Eric Vickers blue sweater.
Uh-huh.
Eric Vickers baseball.
Mm-hmm. Where's number 5?
I guess that her house is... no,
No.
it was in the library. What was the...
I do feel like I missed something, but let's see if this gives it to us anyhow. Well, it's letting us pick a suspect.
The 2 choices are... a
Well, you were
man?
wrong. Because they didn't set up a red herring. It was just...
We're going to do the justice system proud, and we're going to implicate the fucking iguana.
Yeah, is the iguana the red herring?
Victim blaming! Victim blaming! Victim blaming!
I would be.
How?
I personally am willing to let Eric Victor off for the crime of menacing because I don't like what the old woman did, and I don't like that principle at all.
Eye for an eye. Not
However,
right.
however, I don't like the fact that he stole somebody else's pet to do it. That one I would not let him off for.
Animal endangerment. How?
Vengeance, vengeance, vengeance.
Yeah. How does this game work? Like, if we had selected stuff that was like, for example, nobody told us that Eric is a good climber.
Yeah,
Why
no.
did that work?
I'm not entirely sure. But I mean, the snagged yarn was honestly enough proof for me that he was at least trespassing. That box, why would you have a box big enough to take an iguana?
What's in the fucking box? Did you guys just get really quiet, or did my headset cut out?
Quiet.
Look at
Okay,
this.
great.
Look at this. Somebody didn't do any proofreading.
Meniski versus Meninsky.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
No, he didn't.
Oh shit. I never went to the park.
Why would we go to the park?
Because,
Oh, did she say they left for the park? I just thought she just said that they left.
well, the park was a hot spot.
Oh. Oh, this game is bad. It only gives you places you, like, should go?
Well, that, and I didn't go there, and I'm going to assume by this that had we gone there, we would have found this out. There's
Yep.
your missing link right there.
Yep, that there was a black kid who might have done it, but
So-
he's not good at climbing.
So we
that means
just
that-
I haven't heard that
accidentally bullshit the game, and that's kind of no fun.
I mean, it's a bad game.
Yeah, it's bad.
I think for our
It's a
purposes,
good bad
For
game.
children.
guys,
But it's a bad game.
I think for our purposes, this game might be a bust.
No, I love this game. I love the pants off the fact that this dumb game is giving us so much to talk about.
It's true. We might not be able to get this kind of whatever it is we do out of something else.
That's fair.
Is that a different newspaper?
It might
Yes,
be.
it is.
What
He's
did you think
banned
this was
from
a
the
one
library?
newspaper town?
For a month.
Mm,
Nobody seems to have paid us, although this was just clearing our name.
This was a revenge tale.
It literally has the word revenge in it. Rowenge.
I'm sorry, what?
It was from a British show. That he pronounced it Rowenge.
the mysterious
not how-
monster.
Oh, well, okay. Fair. I'll allow it.
It was a joke.
And we have a radio.
What?
What's going on with that radio?
A large monster.
60 feet long.
That's about twice as long
Right
as
out at onlookers.
that's about twice as long as a normal Gyarados, so that can't be it. And now the radio's insinuating that it's a bird.
What? Oh, for Christ's sake, Alpha. Oh, that one hurt. Ow. Oh, no, that was really not good. Oh.
Oops.
You broke her.
I don't know why that affected me so badly.
I don't either. Anyway, let's head to the beach.
I'm sorry, who? Who's what? Crank's laboratory?
That's what it said.
If this game actually has monsters in it, it has opened up a world of possibilities for me.
Oh boy. Here we go, guys.
It is friend and rival Mark. Often fog in the morning. Sailboats 100 feet away. Thought he saw it first. See through the fog. Steve Shred was here.
Well, I would hold Steve Shred in a little bit more of repute.
No, don't leave! There's a clue in the bottom right.
Oh. Good catch.
Green plastic. Thick green plastic.
2 C's?
No. Just a beach towel. Hey, can we go to Crank's laboratory?
Sure, let's go to Crank's laboratory.
Been to the beach. Was at the beach. A blimp.
Could have been a green blimp, but why would it be made of plastic?
I actually don't know what the envelope of blimp is made out of these days, nor what it was made out of in 1983.
The smelly salmon.
It's a very bad smelling fake fish. Interesting. I do want a singing banana. I have a friend who would find that very funny.
I've made a banana that screams.
So he was at the beach, but he claims that he was
See what
not
Shred.
doing
Let's see what Shred has to say.
I'm gonna go get the banana.
A micro mini instant.
The water is too shallow.
Okay.
Did we get any more evidence from that?
No, that was the only hotspot. We can do some research here.
Oh, can we? What are blimps made of?
Maybe they're made of her sweater.
What?
Oh, okay. Biology.
Plesiosaurs. Up to 40 feet long.
That's still too short.
And also are extinct. I really can't stress that enough. But this could have given Mark the idea. Apparently. Anything that has to do with sports? I suppose people might have noticed a blimp crash. It's like the news. I see.
Uh-huh.
The season opening parade.
Danny the dinosaur.
Hall's a 3-story
is-
building.
This is like our Loch Ness monster.
Let's think about this. Well,
Definitely green plastic.
yep.
But does it fit?
We can tie it to the...
Mark studied plesiosaurs. Dinosaurs are extinct. Balloon.
We can tie the plastic to a parade balloon. What Shred thought he saw?
Isn't sure.
What Willie thought he saw?
Mark has studied plesiosaurs. Did we do that one?
No. Let's try that.
I think it was Mark. Cool drawing of sea monster, though.
I want to say sea monster just on the principle that it wasn't any one person or a hoax, but like a very happy accident where a piece of plastic that had the shape of this monster showed up on us.
Objection. I think that Mark knew that it was not a dinosaur, but told people that it was.
So are we gonna essentially end this evening by pinning it on Mark Moriarty?
Yes.
I think that Professor Crank is actually
Oh Christ.
Adolf
No.
Hitler after he fled Nazi Germany.
Unless
Right?
he's the boys from Brazil style, another Adolf Hitler. Those are your choices.
Man, I would love to get a Hitler clone. I would love to have a Hitler clone end up in my office because I think like that is right up my alley. I literally deprogram Nazis for work. So like why not deprogram a clone of the original Nazi? You totally could. I mean, a Hitler clone who was born and raised and is walking around today as like a kid, he hates the fact that like there are women who play video games. So like he's gonna get super triggered by like Anita Sarkeesian.
This may end up being the most censored episode we've ever had.
Yeah. Silver, you can't see my face right now, but it is one of horror.
I would really like to get an Adolf Hitler clone.
Please stop saying that in such a way that someone could, like, clip that.
All right, guys, what's the call?
It's Mark. Can we go now?
I think we may have just lost.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't lose, but
Then is it Willie?
I didn't think it was Mark, so I have my doubts that it's Willie too.
Well, Willie was the one who saw it first.
So are we gonna pin Willie too?
Well,
Right.
who is responsible for the helium balloon? Is it Professor Crank?
No, you mean the balloon that the plastic came from?
The balloon that I'm assuming they saw
No,
floundering
it
that looked
flew
like a
from
sea monster.
it flew away from the city parade, and by all sounds of it, landed in the water.
So then maybe click sea monster to say like it was the balloon as the sea monster.
Which was my original suggestion.
Oh well.
Well, now we can see what happens if we don't do it the first time. He saw.
Generally, when investigators don't get it right the first time, they shoot a black boy, and then the newspapers report it as a crime successfully solved.
How many bad clips are we going to get on this show that are going to get me canceled?
You are speaking truth to power, Alpha. You are this generation's Martin Luther King.
Oh, don't say that.
I don't know how to respond to that.
I mean, you are doing nothing wrong.
I never do
are
anything
stimulating
wrong.
a
Come on now.
discussion. You're stimulating a discussion about our civic duty and what responsibilities we have as Americans participating in civic society and exercising our right to vote and what things we should consider important. It looks like we get our time in the sun anyway in the newspaper, even if we mess it up. Vacuum attacks Virginian. Guarantee you that's just what the Virginian said while he was having sex with his vacuum.
Oh
And
yeah.
something went wrong.
That's a blowjob for the ages.
Um,
I'm sorry, suck job.
Anyway, so you are doing the world a service by platforming this conversation. You
A moderator.
have, yeah, a moderator who screams Kentucky Fried Cock, but a moderator nonetheless who is facilitating deep and necessary conversation.
Yeah, we're solving it, you guys.
I'm a game show host. This is the kind of shit that I do. Okay, it's 9:49. What do?
I don't know if we could do one in 10 minutes.
I'm
not at the
prepared
pace. Not at the pace
to
we're
grab
going.
a parachute and
Literally,
exit this plane.
So far, absolutely not.
What did she say? I couldn't hear over the echo.
Considering what we've managed to accomplish this far, absolutely not.
We've already solved racism. I think we're good to stop here.
Have we?
Solved
Have we really? We ain't solved shit.
Connected dots. We haven't connected shit.
This has been a thing.
Sure has.
And
Often.
I also have a permanent sign off to announce.
Oh,
Oh
yeah?
boy.
So, who here has played Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door besides me and Wit?
I have watched people play it.
I've watched you guys play a little bit of it.
Who here is familiar with the fact that somebody ran that ROM through Google Translate a ton of times and then put it back out for the public to play?
Oh, I remember watching some of that video.
Yeah, so one of the lines in that really resonated with me, and that's one that I'm going to present as as my permanent sign off.
Giving up on pegging?
Well, I'll use them interchangeably, or I'll just let Wit do it.
Never been so disappointed in.
I've never been so
The tricky part is coming up with the character every time and deciding who has to come up with it.
You may not be so disappointed when you actually hear what line it is. But let's find out. I'm Alpha.
I've been Wit.
I'm Silver Recluse.
I'm so disappointed.
That was good.
You know what? Piss off, nerds.
I don't have a pegging.
It's no, and I'm going to peg Colonel Sanders, but it's not bad. It's very British.
No, but it's very close to Good Night Stupid, which I appreciate.
It's
It's
true.
also
very
very
on
funny
brand.
considering that was a line theoretically supposed to be in a video game.
All right. I certainly feel more comfortable showing my friends and family something where we sign off with "piss off, nerds" in a good-natured sort of way, rather than "I'm going to engage in really weird sex."
There's nothing weird about pegging!
No, it's the fact that it's Colonel Sanders.
I'm pushing
Listen,
the goddamn button. Good night, people.
If I'm pegging a
Should and
man,
will get pegged.